Are you sick and tired?
Atoms fall apart. Solar flares arrive. Buildings collapse. Only a few will survive. The world as we know it will no longer be there. Water is gone. A new era has begun. Prepare yourself for the apocalypse. The apocalypse.
The crazy whirlwinds blows dust from the corners of my mind. Been long since last touched for the first time. Thought I was crazy until I reached out and saw your hand there waiting for mine. Like the stars had all aligned. And I breathe your aura, cannot leave your aura. You have me. You don't have to try it, it's just like a magnet. You have me like gravity.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Find Me Off at LCS. I am still Sean Minmugshane. I am still joined by Nathan Fudgy M, Fudgy Ditters M, who I believe is still getting a drink right now. But after Game 1, seeing they are here take Game 1, can Marble Olympics bounce back and push this game to a deciding Game 3 here? for our last and final quarter matchup spot. This will decide who each team plays in the quarterfinals, this being the 3-6 matchup. Most importantly, because of the way that seeding works here in the Find Me Alpha LCS, we do dynamic seeding, which means that the lowest seed will face the number 1 seed and the highest remaining seed will face the number 2 seed. So if they are here, are able to take one away here and win both games right here, they will play Long Anime Schlongs. If Marble Olympics is able to push this to a Game 3 and take it there, they will play Codename Carries next door. That's where we're standing at right now. So depending on who you want to see in these next matchups kind of dictates who you're rooting for here. Popo's pecking order waiting on Beta Breath to find out who they will play. If Marble Olympics does win, they will be playing, Popo will be playing Long Anime Schlongs. If they are here, win, then Popo will be playing the Codename Carries next door. I think we are now rejoined by Fudgy Ditters. How's it going? Trying, John.
Hello.
Okay.
I'm good. Sorry, I was muted. I had to find my mouse and then like flip around 3 times and click my heels once, and then I'm unmuted. So
this just in: Fudgy Ditters is Dorothy.
Yeah, it turns out. I just want to go home.
Awkward moment. He's at home.
My mom just keeps me locked in my basement. Wait.
What?
What? Now listen to this stream. I hope he gets some ASMR vibes out of this. Just cracking a cold one with the boy, Menbone.
So Fudgy Ditters wheels heels. Wears heels. Got it. Yes. Going forward, as we do have pick and bans coming out right now. The Xerath being banned away. As we do have Simply Phenomenal rejoining. They are here. They are going to be available for this game 2 right here, as the Alistar is banned away from New Capaturk there in the bot lane. The Morgana coming out as a ban. A nice flex ban, but same old bans from the side of They Are Here. And the Xayah being banned away from Marble Olympics.
Marble Olympics has a bit more of a plan here, I think, in this pick ban, since they're a little bit more prepared for it. But it also means that there's actually going to be a slightly more favorable matchup in the mid lane, I think, for the side of Marble Olympics, with Illucida, the Platinum Jungle God, being put back into his rightful jungle throne, and Simply Phenomenal now going up against Savage Speeders, which should be a little bit more even, and we shouldn't see a huge snowball there.
Yeah, although, so, see, I was going to talk about this, but then They Are Here are hovering it, and they're going to go into it. The Ornn was left up last game for the side of Marble Olympics, and they opted not to pick it. And I think something that was definitely missing from the side of them was more reliable Engage to jump in with the side of the Rakan. Now, the Shin did come in clutch and saving some of the... Oh, the Nocturne. Oh, Graves. Okay, that was a troll.
Graves. I think the Nocturne would have been a good pick, but maybe not this early.
I would have loved to see the Nocturne.
Nocturne is just such a strong dueling presence in the jungle at the moment, as well as just the map pressure that he has at 6 is pretty much uncontested by every other jungler, since he can cross half the map in an instant. To respond to any sort of play going on.
Have you ever played TF Jungle? I'm kidding.
I'm a boosted 8, but I'm not that boosted.
Maye, he's calling you boosted. The Annie lock-in right here, prioritizing the solo lane picks on the side of Marble Olympics. A very interesting, I believe, choice right here.
Personally, I do not like picking the top, mid, and support as your first 3 picks without being able to counterpick, because they're the primary people that dictate how your lanes are going to go, and this gives TAH the opportunity to counterpick like they did with the Ornn and the Maokai. Ornn has max percent health damage and shields and a lot of safety. And there's not a lot that a Maokai can really do except for maybe follow up with the jungler. And after already seeing the jungler, I'm wondering why Marble Olympics opted to not pick a jungler there as a counterpick. Unless they thought the Rakan was just so important they couldn't let it go, or the Annie was so important they couldn't let it go. I'm not sure.
I feel like the Rakan is the takeaway here. I'm surprised by the Annie pick over the likes of the Malzahar again. I'm also very surprised by the Jhin pick when you have an even tankier boy in the top lane.
Oh, it's a Jhin ban. Sorry.
I know. Kaisa ban, focusing the pool of Jirachi, who most likely will. There's no way that's a Shen ban. Unless there's something in chat we need to read.
Well, it is known, Namaste, that Ooh Rangers plays Maokai in the jungle, so that potentially is what they're thinking about. They don't want to have the two tank composition again from Marble Olympics. And since the Maokai maybe got potentially countered by the Ornn, they're thinking about putting him into the jungle as a safe-ish option into the Graves. The Graves, I think, could just run all over it, though, unless there's response from winning lanes. So I'm not sure about that Shen ban.
I'll say this. Going off of your hypothesis that it is a Maokai jungle, if they are here, lock in someone who doesn't deal with tanks well. I think a Mundo pick would be fantastic in the top lane.
It could be fantastic in the jungle too. Come on, we haven't forgotten all the spice.
God, please help us. As the Leona is picked here, nice little kind of counter pick further into the Rakan. If Rakan, whoever goes first in that lane loses. If the Rakan goes first, Leona just Qs him, and then E's follows after that, and then that's it.
Ezreal ADC, it's interesting. It doesn't do a lot for their team fighting, potentially, but it is one of those ADCs where the better you are, the better you're going to do. And Midnight Wisps, I think, won an MVP or something, like is on the All-Stars team for ADC for a reason. So the Ezreal pick, it's safe into Leona. It does a lot of damage to the Graves Malzahar, and it can potentially just poke off the Malzahar shield. And it does a whole lot. As the Warwick then is locked in for Marble Olympics as the jungle pick.
There is no way.
That's a meme.
I was if Jirachi would have locked in a freaking Heimerdinger, you're solo casting. I was just
That's Tristana lock in though.
Yeah, I know.
Instead. Which I'm not sure how much the buffs have actually affected her in terms of just playability right now. But she's always a strong late game champion. So if they are here, is able to take it there and get to late game with this composition, they're going to be doing a lot of damage from a very safe distance with Trist. Whereas Marble Olympics, it seems like, has the potential to fall off with the Ezreal pick. So we'll see how that bottom lane goes.
There is a extreme lack of damage coming from the side of Marble Olympics. Another draft where I feel like they don't know what they want to do.
My opinion here is that a mage in the bottom lane would have actually been very good.
I think.
I was going to say, although the Morgana got banned, potentially a Zyra or a Brand.
I think if you could have honestly run Caitlyn Fiddlesticks in that bot lane, have a priority lane, you have losing matchups in every lane now. You're like, and when I mean losing matchups, I don't mean like counterpicked, but you do in the mid, you do in the top lane. Bottom lane is double range-ish versus, the Leona Tristana. But the Tristana's going to have the push on you, all right? The Malzahar's going to have push on the Annie. And the Ornn, for most of the laning phase will have the push on the Maokai, which Graves wants pushing lanes to where he can go in and invade. Now, while Warwick is nice and good with dealing with Graves, his lanes will not be the first to answer. I do not like this draft from Marble Olympics.
Doesn't hard counter the Graves either by any means, I think. Sure, it can get onto him and maybe get the fear, but I kind of wish we saw maybe some different laners, different pick order from Marble Olympics here, because they picked blind 4 of their champions. They picked Maokai blind into the top lane, Annie blind into the mid lane, Rakan blind into the support matchup, and Ezreal blind into the AD carry matchup. It does not make a lot of sense to do that in a draft when you can take advantage of the knowledge you're getting from the other team.
And also, it's just, when you're blue side, you're going to get countered. And that's just kind of what it is. Unless you're like, unless the red side is just blind picking everything, right? But that usually doesn't happen. So you want to get some power picks. And because of the way this draft went down, this Maokai and this Annie need to pop off for the side of Marble Olympics. Because their playoff lives are on the line here. If they don't win this game, it's over. They finish in a tie for 5th and 6th with Osh and Z-Girls, and then you say goodbye. You say good luck trying again next split. But to prioritize taking away this Maokai and then getting the Annie that was banned away in the second rotation, to have both of your solo lanes counterpicked is just, it's almost draft suicide in my opinion. I don't mean to go that hard, but it is extremely disheartening to see a team of this caliber who has, 2 all-stars as voted by the rest of the league on their team just draft a comp that, one, doesn't really work. You have a go-in with Rakan, Maokai, and Warwick, Annie who wants to maybe flash Tibbers, something like that. Then Ezreal who's going to just derp around and poke on the back, and anytime he ease in, Malzahar's there, Leona's there, Graves is in his face, Ornn's ulting. They have no way to stop the Ornn ult. I think a Braum could have been great here. It's just I don't mean to. This isn't the box comp versus, I forget who they played, Codename Carries Next Door, where I was just dumbfounded by the comp, but this is pretty close. I do not like this comp from Marble.
They've taken significant disadvantages, I think, with no reason to, on the blue side. I'm interested because I think they could have picked, the Maokai could have been a flex pick, but as soon as they picked it, it got double countered by Ornn Graves. There's nothing a Maokai can do in either of those matchups, so they took the lesser of 2 evils and then put it top.
Yeah, but then why even flex it? Why is Maokai, when Ornn, arguably an extremely better champion who does almost, not everything, but almost everything that the Maokai does, but better. Like, I'll tell you this, if you put the Ornn in that last game instead of the Shen when it was available, even when you're behind, you have ways to engage. That Shen did nothing. He wasn't able to get tanky enough. He didn't do anything there. You didn't see any ganks towards the top side from the Trundle last game. It's Marble Olympics is taking a page out of Clutch Gaming and TSM's book, and they're just going to lose gracefully is what I feel like they're going to be trying to do with this comp. And then just waiting to catch out someone with some sort of pick of Warwick or Maokai or Annie, but it's going to be tough sledding. We were entering a minute and 30 seconds. I think we already know who my pick is. I think
mine's pretty set too. I will say that if Annie isn't pressured properly in the lane and isn't killed on repeat by a Leona roam or a Graves gank with a Malzahar 6, Annie has the potential to carry this game. And you might think I'm a loony for saying that, but I've seen a lot of different Predator Annie or Unsealed Annie.
The Predator Annie is what will be run by Savage Speeders.
I sure hope so. But we saw Unsealed Spellbook last game, so I have no clue what's going on.
Well, you don't want to see... I would have I would have fell off my seat if I would have saw Predator Ziggs. So,
That would have been funny.
but
I
you know,
think the NE could get on potentially the Tristana and Graves, and there's not a ton of protection for them besides going in and hard engaging the Annie. But if the Annie's able to play around vision properly, play around the waves, play safe against the Leona and Graves potential and the 6 from Malzahar, and that's asking a lot, they can maybe get out of this one with the W.
you've given up pressure in every lane is my only problem. This Warwick's really going to have to do a lot of work in the early game and keep track. If you can keep track of the Graves, that's your biggest thing. This Graves has only, I believe, lost one time in the entirety of the PMA LCS, the split. But chat, let us know who you think is going to win. Give us a hashtag ML win or a hashtag TAH win. Or if your general deal, talk about Bat, again, winning all 7 out of 21 games or whatever. As I will read some of chat right now and talk about that.
Hi, chat.
How's it going?
We could be underestimating the Ezreal, and I will say, when that was picked, he does have the potential to be a carry from the bottom lane. My issue is that I think Tristana has a stronger level 2, and then on top of that with the Leona, if they're able to get that level 2, which they should based on the E from Tristana, they could go in and get some early kills and gain that advantage, or push the wave more and gain an advantage there without Marble Olympus being able to punish. However, Ezreal can output quite a bit of damage. It's just that as they scale into the game, I think the Tristana is naturally going to outperform the Ezreal.
Ornn has soft CC while Maokai has hard CC. Ornn has soft and hard CC, just like Maokai has soft and hard CC. Both have slows in their kit.
Both have small knockups.
Yeah, small. Well, the small knockup. The Ornn has an AOE, slow and knockup. The Maokai has a root, which is more reliable because it's point and click.
But it's also less strong than a knockup.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can
the positioning from.
Yeah, catching one person out, but then also has an AOE ult as well that roots. So they both have similar things, but I think, Maokai always has to back. Garfield, Ornn won't. They have a super strong team fight with Warwick, Mao, Annie, and Rakan. Yeah, I agree that the Rakan and the Annie and the Maokai definitely provide really good. Warwick is better at skirmishes than...
I still think there's going to be potential for the Wombo combo, but they got to get out of lane. I think that's where we're really having trouble is where do they get out of lane to the point where their Wombo combo is going to matter.
Yeah, how do they get out of lane even with no priority lanes and not even a priority jungle? Other than Malzul, Tristana and lane... wait, wrong thing. The real struggle will be getting Ezreal ahead and transitioning out of lane phase. Yeah, exactly. He should dumpster Tristana and lane and avoid any attempt Leona makes to engage. Other than Malzul, which is usually too short to catch Ezreal, they don't have reliable tools to lock him down. I
would say that the Ornn ultimate is actually very tough to dodge both parts of on Ezreal. So he'll get caught by the slow at least, and that could be enough for the Leona to press R. It really depends on the context of the fight, though. And
yeah,
I don't want to crap on them too hard for this team fight as we roll in the lane phase here. We're seeing top side starts actually from both junglers. It looks like is Warwick doing a wolf start?
Yeah, he's doing a wolf start right here, which is kind of nice, but I don't know if he's going to expect. He should know that the
Hansu Illucida can actually just take the Scuttle Crab. And
I believe he's going to go in for a blue buff.
He's going to roam straight into blue buff. And he finds the ranges here, half health, dying to blue. This could be a flash from Illucida if he wants it. Yeah, flashes forward, lands a slow into Ranges. Ranges is super low. He has nothing left. Another slow, and a dash, I think, from Illucida is going to come out. Oh, a Q! 400 gold for Illucida. No response. It looks like the top lane, Quicksilver, is going to come down, but he's coming down onto a red buff Illucida with just the saplings. I don't think that's going to do very much. Osita trying to back away,
I don't
smites the camp. He gets a flash out of Quicksilver's as Savage Speeders runs down, but he's running the wrong way. Osita sneaks out of the jungle and then goes for the Scuttle Crab. What a smooth criminal Osita is. Taking that kill makes it easy. They don't know where he is now, and he can just run back down for the blue.
Well, would you say he makes it easy if a robber went into a bank that said, hey, we have no security guards? Because that's kind of what happened. That's kind of what happened. The Wolf Start was kind of nice, but Rangers didn't even get level 2 off of it.
Because he didn't finish the camp, because he went for a cheesy clear. Osita smites for the heal. Rangers goes down again. There's 2 kills on their jungler. It's already massive. Quicksilver looks like he's gonna go down. He has no flash at this point. A dash in could seal the deal. Savage Speeders lands the ignite and the Q onto Osita. Osita goes down. Now to Savage Speeders able to get the response, but in the meantime, Simply Phenomenal gaining a significant CS lead as Garfield Juice is just walking out of here.
Can someone tell me who starts sapling on Maokai? Is that a normal start? I don't play top lane, but I don't think that's a normal laning start, isn't it? Isn't it Q? I think that's interesting. Also, we see that it's the Electrocute coming out.
Look at these jungle item differences, though. A Skirmisher's Saber and Longsword versus Hunter's Machete Rejuve Beam.
He's 700 gold up, which is the entire gold lead right now.
Yeah, but that's an incredibly large amount, I think.
Oh, it's massive. Especially
in the jungle where you're already going to have tempo based on your lanes. He's going to continue to just, with that gold lead, he can just continue to go in to Ranger's jungle, and there's nothing he can do. He has every Scuttlecraft from here on.
I mean, I feel like he has every right to the jungle.
Yeah. And as you're saying, look at these lanes they're pushing in favor of they are here. We see the Malzahar moving forward in the lane, knowing that there's no threat from the Warwick, and then just take a safe back here. Midnight Wisp doing what he can, staying a little bit ahead in CS actually, with this wave crashing in the tower. But I don't think that's going to be... It doesn't look like a significant lead just yet. But we've seen quite a bit of gold going into his pockets from the Klepto. So there's a potential here that he takes an earlier back on probably the next wave, and then comes back in lane with a little advantage for himself.
Yeah, the tier start. As I did check online, yeah, most Maokais do start Q and not the saplings. So I just thought that was a little bit interesting. Maybe it's a personal choice for Quicksilvers to like scout out, but it doesn't provide really any lane pressure whatsoever.
If you want to take a look at top here, we're seeing a 12 CS Maokai to a 30 CS Ornn.
Yeah, and that Maokai had to back out of necessity as opposed to the Ornn, who just stays in
Never has to back, yeah. He's pretty insane, so that passive's just netting him a lot of value, and then he also hasn't taken damage in jungle fights. Trying to respond. Simply Phenomenal is 6, so he's got to show some pressure onto Savage Speeders there in the mid lane. Pushing the wave. It looks like New Capiturk just going to take some of the sustain in that river and then just rotate back down to bot.
Yeah,
he knows that.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I want to address your moves. I almost thought about that, but then I remembered that Warwick started Wolf Camp, so there's no way that he could have started sapling for a leash right there, because the sapling doesn't, it only works in that bush. I mean, they still work, obviously, but you know,
at the same time, the Warwick can solo his buff camp and come out pretty healthy. He'll come out at about half, but
Fudgy knows he's a great jungler.
It's not that bad. I've played a lot of Warwick because I'm a noob.
No, because you're smart though. I mean, I'm not.
Well, because I'm trying to learn it, but
yeah, I'm not trolling.
The Warwick can actually sustain through both his buffs and his wolf camp, and then take a dragon by himself
at level 3. Yeah.
At level 3, and be all right. So I think it was just the timing. There was no leash given from top lane because he started wolves, The red buff was immediately taken, and then I think Hansu was just going to ward to go C, but then he sees Rangers getting low. It was just it.
Here comes
a good fear from Rangers, but New Capiturk is able to flash out of there. Really close play they were trying to make there.
I think the good thing about having the Warwick pick in general is, one, he's still far behind in terms of gold, but in terms of farm, he's only about, 3 camps behind, which is not too bad for being dead twice.
No, not bad at all. And at the same time, he's already got his Tiamat, so he's going to clear even faster. He's going to clear faster than Graves almost with a completed jungle item.
Yeah, I just think the Wolf start, while nice, not finishing the Wolves and then going to try and take your buff level 1.
It's cheesy because it gives you more XP that way. Technically, because you'll be behind, so you'll gain catch-up XP. But ooh, a good fear coming in from Rangers. New Capiturk has no flash. Rangers going in a little bit deep. Ultimate comes down from Midnight Wisp as they're able to pick up the kill bot lane. A TP coming down now from the Ornn. He's gonna get there a little bit first. Rangers goes down. Really see the huge damage. Ornn ult's coming down. Thunderbolt's getting low. Midnight Wisp has to flash out as Quicksilver's gets low down. Jump in from Jirachi. Jirachi takes the kill, jumps out, takes a tower shot, but is fine. 2 kills then picked up for they are here off of an unlucky gank from Rangers. Good counter, good response from there here. Ultimate going down now from Cyberspeed as a mid lane ignite. This looks like the end for Silent Phenomenal. The last tick gets him. And that's the power of the level 6 Annie.
Yeah, I'll say this. You see the level disparity happening right there. If Rangers definitely had the ultimate available, probably would have gotten out there scot-free. Also, Quicksilver's, from helping in that early jungle skirmish, not having the ultimate himself, also TPing late to the fight, so not able to do anything.
Savage Speeders is up too far in this lane. Ultimate goes down from New Capiturk. New Capiturk EQ, stunned Annie. Annie can't see anything, just gets gangbanged.
You can't say that, she's like 12.
I'll track that statement. I realized as I said it, I was like, oh, she's 12.
Everybody in this game is 12.
Yeah. Just too many people there. Rangers blindly jumping over the wall into the Lucy, but 2 levels up. There's no way there's a smite battle here. Yeah, Lucida just takes it. Rangers now kind of overextending for that blue buff. Garfield just flashes in. A little bit of miscommunication there, but Lucida dashes in anyways and picks up the kill. That's one of the more tilting things as a jungler where you're already behind, you want the buff, but there's nothing you can do.
Yeah, why there, I guess, is my thing. Don't think you can outsmite again. Two times in a row, 2 games in a row. Rangers thinking he can outsmite somebody who's 2 levels above him and ends up trading his life over a type of objective, whether that be blue buff in this case or Baron last game. Obviously the Baron's more of a desperation play. This is still desperation play in terms of, hey, I really need 6. But you gotta understand, you're an early game presence jungler, and if you do not get level 6, you are not level 6 until 11 minutes in this game. You are the lowest level in the game at this moment.
At the same time, it's because Hansu is able to... Oh, Charm comes down for Thunderbolts as in the mid lane absolutely gets bursted as Rangers just comes in for the style points there.
Burning his ultimate just to be a part of the kill because of how desperate. You can feel the level of desperation on the side of Marble Olympics. He's just trying to scrounge any type of gold he possibly can because his jungle is not his.
Yeah, and there's no way, but Savage Speeders here, this is what I was saying, he's starting to get ahead. He's starting to come back into this game. Lucida, though, is a little bit more ahead, and a little bit on the side of Savage Speeders. Nope, not going to go for it. Savage Speeders is walking in, blind, Lucida going in, again, flash out from Savage Speeders. That's a huge cooldown for an Annie. That's a huge cooldown for an Annie. No ulti coming down from Lucida there.
Oh my goodness. I got so worried. You look at Malzahar's gold, he took Debtor's whatever, because he's at negative 187 gold, and I was like, what the heck?
Is this a spec glitch? Is this just fantasy?
I remember when they first came out with that Debtor's thing, it showed it as like 500 kabajillion gold, because they had no way of registering it.
Looks like they're going to pressure for this mid lane towers. They just get it. off of an Annie taking a back there. Jirachi, though, getting pretty low, tries to jump on a Midnight Wisp, ults away the support, and is trying to link up with the team. Does Thunderbolts overextend here, or is it no? A TP from the Ezreal to the mid lane to try and help his team out.
Okay, Fudgy, I'm going to give you a task.
Okay.
You're Marble Olympics. You're in their comms right now. You can choose any person to be. Well, never mind.
I don't want to be Warwick.
Well, my whole idea was you just... Jesus.
He just got picked blindly into the jungle, and it was really rough.
Well, I was going to say, well, what do you do to get back into this game? Now, what do you do to get back into this game?
What you have to do, honestly, you send Ezreal into a side lane to continue to get the pressure and get gold, so he doesn't fall behind. He actually scales pretty decently well with levels as well as the items and gold he would get from a solo lane. You keep, I think, Maokai in a solo, and you run Savage Speeders, Ooh Rangers, and Thunderbolts as a 3-man unit across the map and try and get picks while picking up farm in the mid lane. Just because they have such high engage potential in that 3-man unit with the tankiness of a Warwick and the Rakan, while the Annie's able to do so much damage, they could probably force any play they want. Looks like Quicksilver is getting really low in this top lane, taking a lot of autos, taking a W. If this is a flash play, this is a flash play if I've ever seen one from Garfield Juice, but he's not going to take it. He eases in, gets the knockup. Quicksilver, he doesn't hit everything, but it takes him down with the autos. Garfield Juice is just becoming unstoppable on the Ornn pretty soon.
Yeah, he didn't have flash out that entire time, but because he's Ornn,
he has enough dashes to catch up to a flashless Maokai. Or a Maokai that flashed in the middle of it. Look at these wards.
Yeah, I just
from the side of there here.
I want to see something real quick. This is what red side is looking at. They have vision in the bot side jungle, and they see some of that. This is what blue team can see. They can only see 2 wards that are right next to each other, just past the river. They still have some vision, but they don't know where anybody is. And Dragon coming up right here in the next 10 minutes, 10 seconds in. It's going to be another Infernal Drake. Oh joy!
This could be an opportunity, though. I think if they don't have a flash for the Annie, but the Annie has the potential here to go in on this team fight and really mess them up.
All right, you are 5,000 gold down at 15.5 minutes. Your jungler...
You can't face check that.
Yeah, you can't face check it. Yeah. There's a Malzahar, there's a Leona, and even though the Ornn doesn't have ult for this, there's no way you do anything.
I think they needed to save wards, save some pinks there, and drop them all. And ulti comes down from Warwick as Elucida looks like he's caught in the jungle, tries to ult away, but Ooh Rangers dealing tons of damage. Flash forward from Midnight Wisp as he barely gets the kill, but gets return killed in the 2v1 against Elucida.
Yeah, the auto cancel killing Midnight Wisp right there in the end.
I think though that Midnight Wisp getting the gold there, and then Savage Speed is dealing tons of damage to the new Avatar. Not exactly the target you want to go on as Jirachi pops out of the shadows though. Ends up with the kill. Sorry, the gold that Midnight Wisp just got there though is probably pretty large, just because it's a 7-2 jungle Graves.
Yeah, but I think the only problem right there is, while this may be okay, we were talking about lack of damage, and unless this Annie just gets massive, going for the Iceborne Gauntlet for a little bit more safety right there, I can understand it. But you're not going to have enough damage to do anything. You're going to need to get a Blade of
the Ornn.
Yeah. You need to get a Blade of the Rune King and a Last Whisper, and then if you're lucky, you get second tier if the game goes that long. But I don't see this game going past the 28-minute mark.
Ooh Rangers finding Garfield Juice in the jungle, or is Garfield Juice finding Ooh Rangers? Midnight Wisp is there too. Nope, looks like Marble Olympus is the first team to respond there, so they are able to pick up the kill. Elucida popping out of the jungle, dealing a lot of damage to Thunderbolts, but Thunderbolts landing the charm. Elucida getting charmed out, rooted, and killed by Midnight Wisp. That's another big kill as a flash heal, I believe. Or no, just the heal comes out from Jirachi to try and save their jungler. Didn't work out. pretty big pickups there from Marble Olympics.
That is what you call playing boosted with a lead.
Yeah, they were just in a little too deep when they knew the enemy team was topside. Or maybe they didn't know and were trying to scout it out. But.
Yeah, they're in too deep and they're just trying to keep the gold lead above their head instead of going under.
I guess what I mean is they were in too deep alone. If they were together there, I don't think that Marble Olympics would have had that opportunity for the pick.
Yeah. I referenced the old 2000 song. Oh!
Another ultimate coming down, lands on a Nuke Avaturk, not exactly the target they were looking for. Nuke Avaturk planning a lot of CC. The ultimate, Flash ultimate comes down from Silly Phenomenal, and down goes all three members of Marble Olympics trying to make the play there. That was a little just too aggressive. His team wasn't there in time, and then they didn't know the Malzahar was in that brush. That Malzahar,
Wait,
he might have
what?
sealed the deal, but
No, they didn't know he was in the brush necessarily, but they knew he was on top side.
yeah, they could have assumed, yeah. They didn't see him, I don't think.
I guess my question is,
Why engage there, or why out there?
why go on to the dang Leona?
Savage Eater's looking very threatening, but taking a lot of damage. Yeah,
Also,
I think
you didn't
he
have
was
the
aiming
Annie.
I think he was He was aiming for the ADC, I have to imagine.
Well, I know
But-
that's what we'll hear in the post-game interview if we get one, but I don't think it's the right call, especially when
Either
your
way,
Ezreal
yeah,
has
okay.
to E into, like, there's just, if that's the
Yeah,
call,
there's-
everyone goes together. But no one's together. Annie was still farming on the bot side. She's your main source of damage at this point, especially for blowing someone up. She's the first person outside of Ezreal to buy a QSS, so the Malzahar attack being paid. They need...
Looks like Marble Olympics is going to try and make a play on the Garfield Juice, but I don't think they know really see this here. As Garfield Juice deals massive damage, presses off hard for the Call of Forge God. As here's Elucida on the backside, taking a lot of CC, but not a lot of damage. Flash in from Garfield Juice. Garfield Juice deleted the Warwick. I'm sure in conjunction with the jungler there. Thunderbolt's trying to sneak away, but I don't think they have the dashes for it. So, one auto. Goodbye.
Yeah, Sorry, I'm lagging a little bit on my thing.
Sorry,
Oh.
I think if that play could have been fine. An EN from Nuke Avaturk onto Savage Speeders. Savage Speeders gets ultimate from Simply Phenomenal, knowing that there's nothing he can do. He just goes down. The whole four-man unit here is too strong. Jirachi's actually taking the middle lane right now. This is just devastating now for Marble Olympics. They can't... I don't know how much they can do against a double infernal scaling team like this.
Yeah, I think... Oh, no.
Ooh, Ranger's face checking a brush, and dies for it. Thunderbolt's not gonna face check the brush. Just gonna cancel.
Yeah. So going back to that top side, when you're this far down, and then you just got the picks that you did inside your blue topside jungle, to try to force the issue even more, with not having spent that gold that you did from the shutdown, not having someone who's as strong as your Annie there, is a little bit overzealous. And then we just see the ease of the composition that has been put together by they are here, still being able to use the gold lead that they have, which is 10,500 at this point. And then just some really interesting pathing. The Annie coming down on the side of where they are here were instead of behind the turret. Trying to face check and maybe try to blow someone up, but you've spent 1,300 gold on a QSS. It's just, I mean, it kind of feels like we did in the first game where we talked about how the draft seems very disjunct, and this time it's not the picks necessarily. I think it's because, like, if you just look at their team comp as a whole, it doesn't look too bad, but then you look at the team that they're going against, and then in the order that they picked their champions, that are going to leave some head scratches.
Yeah, but at the same time, I think They're Here has done a good job really punishing the comp, especially Lucida, coming in, doing tons of damage to the Warwick, setting him behind so far early that they haven't really been able to dig themselves out of this hole. Yes, there have been a couple of good picks, but it's been pretty tough for Marble Olympus to really get anything going in the face of such a humongous jungler and AD carry. Jirachi's 4-0, and Malzahar will always provide this utility. They're going for the Baron here. There's no response from Marble Olympics. It's going to be impossible for them to get anything done onto this team comp. So they are here going to take this advantage and roll with it. Grab the Baron for nothing, pretty much. And now they're going to take some recalls. Lucida's going to steal away another blue buff, and they're going to try and look for the kill here. I think this is smart. They're going to go for the throat of Marble Olympics, try and take them out while they're down this far. Really tough game, I think, for Rangers when Illucida's been in his jungle all game, and there's not been a lot that he can do. But props to Illucida though for taking such an initiative for the first team.
Yeah, I'll say that. While it is unfortunate, I think, Marble Olympics drafted themselves into an unfortunate situation. Yeah, the wolf start's kind of interesting. Yeah, not getting level 2 off your first camp and then trying to do your thing and then getting invaded. Kind of interesting.
Savage Speeders getting caught out here. Jirachi, Nuke After come from out of vision, and boom goes the dynamite. Goodbye, Savage Speeders. And that's a lot of teammate power. They're just going to push for the win, I think.
Yeah, and I mean, if this was to get to the 35-minute point, maybe we could talk about ways for Marble Olympics to kind of kite out, but something that they're missing that we didn't even talk about that they had last game was wave clear. Annie and Ezreal do not provide any wave clear that's reliable. And
ult in from the Warwick, but he gets suppressed right away too. Good knock-up though from Thunderbolts, but just leads to the Warwick's death. The rest of the team just does too much damage on the side of They're Here.
Yeah, 15k gold lead at 25 minutes right here. As the ult from Quicksilver's is just going to come out just to dissuade anything, but looks like they're just going to go around the horn and escort this top wave in and just try to end it here.
Garfield just took one tower shot.
Yeah, and he used the shield from the bellow.
Yeah, I know, that's so ridiculous.
Yeah, he's still at full health. It's been a really well executed game by They Are Here, and especially off of the back of
Midnight Wisp going in deep as the Ornn ultimate comes down. Jirachi's dominating, takes out Maokai. He's just dominoing these players. Savage Speeder's getting really low. Ultimate coming down from Lucida. And down goes everyone but the Marble Olympics bot lane. They're left to try and pick up the pieces of this base. I don't know what they can do.
And it looks like Marble Olympics season will come to an end here, but They Are Here will go on to the next round to face Long Anime Schlungs.
Yeah, GG's to both teams. Well played, I think. Yeah, good job. They Are Here. So, chat, let's get an MVP vote going for
this year. Yeah, I'll get it started.
For them, yeah.
So talk about who your MVP of the series is, Fudgy.
I have to give it to Illucida. Both in the mid lane and in the jungle, he just showed complete dominance in his role. Taking apart, really, Rangers game 2, knowing that his lanes were pushing, taking the aggressive invades, and able to really, punish what ended up being a rougher pick ban for Marble Olympics. And just all the heads-up plays mid. I mean, sure, you could argue that Savage Speeders was having a rougher time on the Ziggs, but the whole game, Lucida was running down bot, trying to make plays, using his wards in an effective way to catch out a roaming mid lane, and just doing so much for his team at all times that I never really felt like They Are Here was behind because they had Illucida so far ahead and doing so well and just really running with the leads he was able to gain.
I want to give some shout outs to Jirachi, and I think the whole team of They Are Here played very well, but I definitely want to give some shout outs to Jirachi, New Capaturk, for in this game holding down the bot lane. New Capaturk doing exactly what Lucida did and doing a role swap mid-series. It performed admirably on the Graves in game 1. And then Garfield Juice just being this, stout top laner who only died once in the entire series, and Jirachi only dying no times in the entire series. And Simply Phenomenal had a very good game as well. Unfortunately, wasn't able to play for both games, but came in and played very well on the Malzahar. So go in there, vote for your MVP of the series. I'll be closing the poll at 11:40. Let's do 11:39 Central Standard Time. So that's in 2 minutes. 2 minutes for the poll. As They Are Here, we'll be advancing. Marble Olympics season ends here. Let's just take some time to kind of reflect on this team. This team had 3, I believe. No, two rookies on the team who played very significant roles in their success this split to get to the playoffs in Savage Speeder and Midnight Wisp. Obviously, we mentioned Midnight Wisp and Thunderbolts playing the all-star roles for their team. And then, doing some role swaps for Rangers and Quicksilvers in the top lane and jungle. I think a very well-deserved split. Obviously not the results they were probably looking for, but just a good split overall, and 2 rookies who have a lot to hang their hats on, I believe, in a bot lane that looked very good as well.
Yep, but you know what they say, Greg can't make it out of first round of playoffs. Anyways, I think the straw poll is pretty much clear. Let's go to player of the game interviews here. I think we're going to take Lucida with us, and if both captains want to join, I think that'll work out. So let's head up there.
So, gonna wait for our captains and MVP to join us here.
Hello.
We have one of them.
Hello.
Hello.
We have 2.
Now we have 2 of them.
They are here.
Yeah, I'm here. What's up?
Fudgy gets carried in March Madness.
Sorry, did I say they are here? I meant the Church of Bung Palian.
Yeah, I didn't actually want to address that, but all of They Are Here in Game 2, not opting to have their actual club tag on, so they forfeit 1 game, so we will be going to a Game 3 because they did not use their club tag as per the
Oh my
rules.
god, you're
Oh
killing me.
god,
Ooh,
no.
game loss.
Yep.
Boo.
Do we want does any representative from the side of Marble Olympics want to show up? I've received that the captain of Marble Olympics will not be joining us.
All right, well, let's just continue on then. So, Hansu
Hey,
Elucia,
baby.
my boy.
Hey, I'm joining.
Hey, Greg.
Oh.
How's it
Hey,
going?
what's up, Greg?
Greg.
Hey.
Thank
Yo,
God.
Greg.
Greg, how's that?
Greg, buddy. Even though we may have won the game under the name of Sean, the great jungler.
We're all winners when you worship
We're all
our
winners.
Lord and Savior Bung.
Amen. Hallelujah.
Bung
my
man.
friend.
Hallelujah.
Oh my god.
So, Hansu. I got
And that's
a
going to
question
be
for
the
you.
MVP.
Holy shit.
All right, keep
So
going.
I got the question for you. So switching from mid lane to jungle, what's your change of thought process there that lets you be so effective in both lanes?
Mid lane? I actually don't know mid lane. When I was going in mid lane, I was actually really scared because I haven't played anyone but Zoe in mid lane for like a month. So I actually didn't know how I was gonna match up with other wave clearing mid laners. But I guess it's mid lane's all about just finding that little tiny opportunity to be able to make picks. And I play mid lane like a second jungler, I guess. I try to roam as much as I can. Um, and once I get to the actual role of jungle, just keep in mind where to start, try to get ahead, since once we get ahead, they can't really stop the snowball. So I tried that, worked perfectly, and went from there.
Yeah, I really like that. I think you had definitely some of the better roaming performances, I would say, from the mid lane that we've seen this split. Just going, I think you were constantly bot. I think your bot side is about as much as your mid lane. So
Yeah, I don't like my lane.
You can take the jungler out of the jungle, but you can't take the jungler out of...
the jungler.
Yes.
Dude,
Yes.
yo, Twitch, clip that. That's gonna be one of the sermon.
I'll add it to the book of bong.
I actually hate everybody in this call right now.
I love you, Sean.
Alright, so, oh, wait, what? Did I hear my name from a woman in the back?
Oh, yeah. It was my girlfriend. She's playing Skyrim.
That was so strange. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, I know it's pretty strange that I have a girlfriend too. I understand.
Oh my. Okay, muting Hansu.
All right.
Okay, question
All right.
for the captains, or the representatives that are here from each team. Starting with Thunderbolts, what was the mindset going into Game 1 having to deal with an emergency sub on the side? How it kind of changes your pick ban process right there, and then after Game 1 where it seemed like y'all had a lot of tempo working for y'all in the early game, but then when the mid game kind of came around, it didn't work out. So after that Game 1 kind of fumble, what were y'all thinking going into Game 2?
Well, as far as pick ban goes, I honestly don't even think our pick ban was bad. I think both games we had a decent idea of what we wanted to do pick ban style for our team, and as far as bans against TAH, and I think both games we accomplished what our goals were in that sense. But as for transitioning from Game 1 into Game number 2, obviously not giving up a bunch of early kills as we did. We got it. Hatsu, it was just unbelievable this series. In Game number 1, got a bunch of early kills, and then we were trying to just kind of shut that down for Game number 2 and see if we could maybe get Eric on a jungler that he would be able to at least survive the early game and push into that mid game a little bit better and help us push through. But yeah, didn't work out like we were hoping. But yeah, so I thought our pick ban was decent, just couldn't execute it.
Well, okay, so you brought up your pick ban. I was more talking about like the fact that they had a emergency sub and them switching roles, how that changes your pick ban of whom you're banning and stuff. But addressing, I think there was in Game 1, we felt like it was a really, really good comp, but then the Ziggs just kind of felt like it came out of nowhere. If you want to touch on that pick just a little bit, if you don't mind. And then in Game 2, Fudgy and I were kind of wondering why the priority on the Malachi and the Annie, like blind picking the solo laners, and then eventually blind picking 4 out of your 5 roles on blue side. We understand that blind picking is going to happen on blue side, but opting into especially blind picking your solo laners that early.
Well, I'll tackle the two then. The Ziggs Game number 1, with our comp and the idea of their comp, Ziggs kind of fit into it. It was good disengage from the Maokai. It was good follow-up for the rest of the CC we had. It was able to siege down towers and kind of prevent their push at all. But the problem was if Hansu was able to get any kills on that Ahri whatsoever mid, that was just it. And it was a risky pick in that sense, and we were kind of trying to rely on other lanes to push ahead or to, if not, try and play, be behind mid, but not necessarily kills wise. But then in Game number 2, that was more of just a comfort pick situation. It was kind of one of those things where Game number 1, we're going into Game number 2, it's do or die, and we're like, all right, let's just get our people on the things they want to play. That tends to be a good formula in the PMA LCS, get people on the things they want to play, the things they individually feel comfortable on.
Mm-hmm.
again, just wasn't able to execute. But yeah, I think pick ban wasn't our bigger problem between that and execution. But yeah, obviously some things we could have fixed for sure.
Okay, and on the side of they are here, kind of the same question that I initially asked Thunderbolts. How do you deal with a roster swap pre-series like that right before the game, and how does it change the way you prioritize your pick ban? Obviously, game 2, you're back with your normal roster, so it kind of just goes back to the way that you've been game planning all week.
I'll say, first of all, we were originally planning to just pure swap in Gordon Ramsay to mid lane, and then actually New Kappa Turk was like, hey, what are secondary roles? Because I can jungle and Hantu can mid, and then we can put Hiru at his primary of support. And so big creds to Tyler for bringing up that idea. But from there, I don't even know if it changed our pick ban that much. It was just like get people comfort, decent matchups. I don't really know what else to say about it.
All right, Chad, if you have any questions, I haven't seen anything come in besides people just calling Hansu trash and.
I mean, it's true.
Hansu played unbelievable that series. I mean, shout out to TAH. I think you all played well, but Hansu was unreal. That was just, it was just you. I mean, it's crazy. If this PMA LCS split has taught me anything at all, is that, and this is in no way mean, shape, or form an insult to Eric or John whatsoever. But if it's taught me anything, it's that highly low junglers are just like super strong right now in this meta, especially PMA LCS. I mean, Hansu just like, to put, for lack of better terms, pooping all over our faces in those games. I mean, honestly, he played so well that series.
I think to your point, you tend to see the teams. I mean, let's look. They are here. Codename carries next door. You have a great jungler in General Dill who's coaching Neil Distill, who was our most improved player for the entire split. While not necessarily a high elo jungler, can learn from someone like General Dill.
And that's not at all to discredit TAH. I mean,
no, exactly. But
they
I
all
think
played well.
It's to your point though.
Discredited.
What?
I mean, Hansu was like 9-1 on Ari game number 1, and then like 11-1 on Graves game number 2.
Hansu played like a fucking god. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and Neil Distill not only most improved, but went from silver 4 to gold 4 in solo queue, so that's really good.
Oh, wait, actually?
Yo, really quick.
Oh, that's good.
I know I said I wasn't joining, but I saw Neil still ask about the Warwick first game decision.
Oh, okay. Neil.
It's real. It's a real thing. Sorry, go ahead.
It was a real call, and it was a real path that I was trying to take. Fudgy kind of knows it's similar, but it's not the same as what he did. Where I knew Hansu was going to invade topside. I knew that was going to happen at some point. I did not expect it to happen at level 2. I thought it was going to happen more level 3 roam, and that Hansu would start bot. So I figured if I go top, let's get that whole jungle. Then there's nothing there for him to take. But Hansu was there a lot earlier than I had guessed he'd be. And it's a risky start to do the wolf start where you take one little wolf, one big wolf, and then go to blue. But like the whole way it was explained to me was if you do it that way, you get like bonus experience.
Yeah, you get the catch up XP.
So you get more experience out of doing little wolf, big wolf, and blue in that order than you do out of going blue, big wolf, wolf.
Yeah.
Literally, like, that game goes so much differently if Hansu doesn't invade at level 2. Like, it just was very unlucky on what I had set as my pregame plan for my pathing to what Hansu did for his pregame plan. And, in the game of chess, Hansu won that one.
I'm gonna throw in. I'm just casually laning, and I hear Hansu saying something about an invade, and I just look at the mini map, and I see y'all at the base. I'm like, whoa, what the? How did this happen?
Yeah, I thought I was gonna die, but the tires really scared the crap out of me, dude. I thought I got myself bamboozled.
The only good thing that came out of that was that you didn't actually get any of the camps, so at least I still had the farm. But that's a serious like hardcore stretch in silver lining.
Well, I can say that at the
That's not a bad variation of that one.
like at the 5 or 6 minute mark or something like that. Fudgy, like the first backings came in whenever, or like maybe 4 minutes, and you had Machete and Rejuve bead to a fully upgraded red smite, and it was just
Oh
like,
yeah, I was
Yeah, it
I was in
was
full on like I need to fucking get caught up somehow mode.
at that moment, dude. I don't think there was a single way you got farm in that game. If Elysium
Dude, I was just catching as much as I could and trying.
you should have just
trying.
gone.
It was a hard game.
You
for
should have
me
just
that-
lane top lane and just gave up. I mean,
honestly,
because you
buy a
like-
support item, dude. It's over.
well, and I don't mean that in like a negative way, but
No,
like
no,
you
no, I know. It
needed
was
you
just
needed
funny.
you needed experience, and like you had no domain with
Yup.
the way that the lanes were drafted, because every lane on TAH had priority. And if they, or they'd have to give up tons of farm, which we saw happen mid lane when they were helping out in the mid. Let's see. Uramoose wants to ask, I'm curious about the roster changes on ML. Why swap mid with support and top of jungle so late in the season? Now, obviously, y'all reverted the mid and support changes, which I think many people were in favor of and had voiced their opinions on earlier. But I guess just address the top and jungle swap and why to keep it going forward. Obviously, since the season's over.
The original thought on the mid one was because we knew we were going to be without Kevin and a find support sub, then a mid sub for that. So that was that one. I feel like I've explained this like 18 times. The top and jungle one. Well, John's like not a jungle by like a primary jungle at all. And I've kind of shifted that way, so it kind of put us both in comfort. Like realistically, me as a top laner, I have like actually a decent, not a very large champion pool when it comes down to it, and I have a fairly large champion jungle. So that was part of it. Part of it was shifting how our early game went, as far as like the shot calling in the early game, and finding ways to make more stuff happen. And I found that when I went in the jungle, I literally talk like all the time. I'm constantly just saying what I'm doing, just kind of micromanaging my thoughts out loud, and it just helped a lot. But the wins didn't ever come to show for it, but I don't think that was a result of shopping. I thought John had some really solid plays and some really solid performances top lane. I just hard entered in the jungle, but that came from, I think, other issues with our team that just never managed to resolve. So it's all good.
All right. Any other questions from chat? Any other questions between captains among captains, or something like that? I do want to say though, as you're thinking about your questions that you may want to ask, we said it before y'all came on. We just want to say that while Marble Olympics season does end here, 2 of them will be playing in the All-Star game coming up. That will be the bottom lane of Midnight. What is it? Midnight Bolt, Thunder Wisps, whatever.
Thunder Wisps.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see Greg poop on Chris and show him who ran that bottle.
Yeah. Well, we'll find out who's on which teams. That will be drafted team thing. By
that's what they decided.
Dude, let's go. Our commissioner / future esports manager. Let's go, dude. Hey.
Wow.
I should have just played Nuno.
Oh my god, dude.
There you go.
Alex, like we were just trying to announce we were gonna lose before the game with the Nooner pick. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, as I don't see any other questions in the chat, are there anything that the captains would like to say, or the representatives from the teams? That is not a meme about Minbang.
I wasn't going to.
No, I saw Hansu unmute himself, so I was ready.
Listen, that's why I wanted to actually talk, alright? Real talk, dude. Real talk. Besides for all the great names of the Bunk Church, but let's go on past that.
Please.
But good games, Marble Olympics. I had fun. I'm glad I get to face you guys in the playoffs. And it's unfortunate that the whatever team issues you guys had wasn't resolved, so you couldn't play as well as before. But regardless, GG's, and good luck in the All Stars, and good luck next season. Because I don't think I'll be playing next season, actually.
Oh.
So this will be my.
Thank fucking God.
I gotta win this one.
I remember, but after season 1, I was like, whatever happens, I don't want to deal with Hansu on the enemy team. Because season 1, you were hands down the best jungle.
Now it's
And so then season 2 rolls around.
Oh, please,
and the rosters are
no,
released.
dude, drop the conversation.
And I'm with
No,
Hansu.
continue the conversation.
I'm with Hansu.
Eric,
and I'm
no,
like,
he'll hear
fuck
it. Eric, he'll hear it. He'll hear it.
And lo and behold, our team's like last place. Now, fast forward to season 4, I'm getting my ass handed to Hansu again. Why the fuck wouldn't you do this season 2? God damn it, Hansu.
Dude, you gotta be careful, man. He hears us.
He hears
What's
us.
out, man?
Oh my god.
I was just gonna say something in the same vein. GG's, well played.
That was a fun team, Chase Squad.
Marble Olympics had a kick-ass season, and
Yeah.
nothing about tonight changes that. So
I think I had more Shen wins than General Dill, so I'll take it.
Oh, dude, fire right there, dude.
How is that fire? It's banned against him. Well, he doesn't play the damn champion. Of course you're gonna have more wins.
but it's still a fact.
Yeah,
Hey,
but it's not
it-
flame.
It wasn't perma-banned against me. What's Mike? Wait a second.
Well,
Wait a second.
do you want me to answer that question with the
Not
question?
really.
Okay,
Not really.
are we ending the stream?
I
yeah.
guess at this point we will. Hansu's already answered the question in chat. Fire, wow, mad bung, sad bung. Okay, yeah, we're definitely ending right now.
Sad bug.
I'm going to find people I'm playing. Flex, do it. Bye.
All right, well, thank you very much to all of us. We will be announcing the matchups where they are here. We'll be playing Long Anime Schlongs, and the number 1 seed codename Carries Next Door will be playing against Popo's Pecking Order sometime within the next week.
Another reminder: Popo can still throw.
Greg, when is Friday at what time?
Greg isn't in this thing
Okay,
anymore.
I believe it's 9 o'clock Eastern, if I'm not mistaken.
Popo versus CMD.
No, the All-Star.
Oh, All Stars. I don't know.
Yeah, I think so.
I believe All Stars is this Friday upcoming at 9 o'clock Eastern time. Come out and check and see for the All Stars that you voted for myself and for Fudgy Ditters and all of us here at the Not So Lively broadcast crew. Thank you very much for joining us, and all hail.